All right, you're looking at our next guest. She's known as the girl behind the hits, collaborating in writing, producing, and developing talent with some of the biggest musical acts like BTS, J-Lo, Ed Sheeran, Little Mix, just to name a few. The song Butter that's out right now, she co-wrote. It is now 9 weeks at #1 on the charts. Jenna Andrews has her own recording contract, currently hosting a web series focusing on mental and emotional health to help prevent suicide among teenagers and young adults. It's called The Green Room, and to say that she has quite a career so far is an understatement. Jenna Andrews joining us this morning. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
By the way, not easy to navigate the music world, right?
Oh my God, yes, that's an understatement. Definitely not easy.
All right, and then on lockdown, how did you get, working with BTS, like one of the biggest K-pop groups out there?
Oh my God, well, actually, Ron Perry at Columbia actually put me together with them. And it was just honestly, just such a natural connection. And I love vocal production. I worked a lot with Little Mix. And I just love working with bands and doing harmonies and all that stuff. So it was just a really good.
So when you talk about vocal production, you did that on the song Dynamite, right? And what does that mean exactly?
I mean, vocal production is kind of hard to explain. For me, it's a lot about arrangement. So I do a lot of harmonies, a lot of arrangements, a lot of studying the band's voices. So I'm able to know what tone sounds best in places. But yeah, so that's how I would describe the way I vocal produce.
So I think that a lot of us know you because of your great writing skills. How did you develop that? And it's so true. I mean, and what do you think resonates? Because there are a lot of people out there who think they're great writers, and yet some people don't always think that their words are great for their songs.
I mean, for me, I just think that as a kid, I always loved to write so much and just work. I went to school for actually for journalism broadcast. So words were always something that meant a lot to me. So to me, it's just very natural. And I love, honestly, part of the reason I started The Green Room is because I love to be able to talk to people and understand what they're going through. So for me, songwriting is a perfect, fit for me in my life.
So how do you do this, during COVID? How did you write some of these big songs with other people who are all over the world and nobody's traveling?
Zoom. This is how it happened. I mean, honestly, I became so good at Zoom, I feel like, and it's just honestly, it's surprising how much of a connection you can have with people over Zoom. I mean, some of my greatest friends I met, even a couple of my collaborators on Butter, I first met on Zoom, and I feel like we were really able to, connect and get the right intention behind the song, even just, on a computer.
So how does that work, Jenna, when you're working with somebody like Ed Sheeran, and you're both writing the same song? Are you throwing out ideas, throwing out words? How does that take place?
Well, he originally had the song, and basically they just sent it to me to write some lyrics over it and all that stuff. So I felt I was very, obviously super excited that they even considered me, considering how amazing Ed Sheeran is. So, I basically just wrote lyrics back and forth and sent them hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? And that's basically as simple as it was.
So cool. So you have this web series, The Green Room.
Yeah.
What prompted you to do something like this?
Okay, so for me, I grew up a lot with anxiety, and I was bullied in high school. I went through eating disorders, and obviously I've been doing this for a long time as a female artist, and gone through various things with male producers and things like that. So for me, as an artist myself and a songwriter, oftentimes you're writing with artists in the room and they talk about their experiences. And I was like, wow, I'm not alone. And a lot of people go through this, and it actually made me feel a lot less alone. So I was like, this is very interesting to be able to show people how songs are actually written, because honestly, people's pain and anxiety really contribute to the best songs that we hear in the marketplace. And I feel like for me, since I started The Green Room, it's been one of the most cathartic experiences. And I think that it gives artists the opportunity to really tell their fans why they write certain songs and how much it's really helped them in their life. And hopefully it makes the fan feel less alone at home as well.
So Jenna, who was the most interesting person that you've interviewed for The Green Room so far?
Oh, that is a tricky question.
Sorry, Jenna. That's what we do around here.
Okay, okay, this is not to say they're the most interesting, okay, because I love everybody that I've interviewed, but I think in terms of the emotional, feeling and interviewing them, it would be my friend Parson James. I just feel like the way that he described his story was so authentic and it really touched people, so, yeah.
You want to give us an idea about his story or no?
Yeah, I will actually. So basically it was about coming out as it was about a couple things. It was about coming out as a gay man in the music industry and also body image as a gay man in the music industry. And basically we have a therapist on each episode, and the therapist basically told Parson, he told us a story about how basically he one time went to this club and he saw a friend of his, and basically he was really embarrassed. His friend was really embarrassed about being gay because his friend wasn't out. So the therapist told his friend that he would walk around the block with him so he could avoid his friend seeing him. And then they walked around the block and they got back to the bar, and the friend was still there, and he was like, "Can you walk another loop?" And the therapist was like, "Okay." And then he went back. The friend was still there, and he's like, "Can you walk another loop?" And then the therapist was like, "Now you're making me feel ashamed." And Parson, it was just a really emotional moment, I think, for both of them, because Parson could relate to that story so much, and it got a little teary and stuff. But I think, for me, obviously, I don't relate to that specific thing, but I relate to shame, and I think that was really it was really touching.
Yeah. Jenna, how can people watch this webcast?
Well, the Green Room Talks, and basically we're just starting to do it in person. So I'm really excited. Most of the episodes have been on Zoom, but on YouTube you can go to the Green Room Talks, and the Green Room Talks on all socials.
Beautiful.
So, yeah.
Jenna Andrews, so nice to meet you. Continued success. Are you working with anybody that you could spill the beans with right now?
Like secrets? Oh, yeah. My God.
Who are you working with now, Jenna?
Well, I don't know if it's a secret, but I did co-executive produce the new My Little Pony movie that comes out on Netflix September 24th. So I'm excited about that.
Ooh.
And the doll actually just came out, so I just bought myself one on Amazon. So I was excited. And I actually have a song in the new J-Lo movie coming out as well called Marry Me. I'm not sure if you're familiar, but that's going to be an exciting one too because I love her. So
that's from the movie, right?
Yeah, exactly, with Owen Wilson. Yeah.
Maybe she'll sing that to Ben Affleck later. Okay.
Ooh,
you never know. Thanks, Jenna Andrews. Have a beautiful day. Nice to meet you.
You too. Good talking to you.
Same here.